Good morning or good evening, farming friends. Today we're taking a look at a new map that is called Tazewell County. It's based out of Illinois. Um, this also was on the in-game mod hub and decided to give it a look. And I have not been on this map yet, so I don't know what all is in store for us today. Let's see. As soon as you first spawn in, you're in a kind of lagging a little bit. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't have no ways the amount of mods installed on this map as I did the other one. In fact, I actually took a bunch of them out and put the old camera mod that I had back in that actually can put you back on, the ground by simply just scrolling or clicking on your mouse wheel. Excuse me. Sinuses have been acting up today, so if I sound a little nasally, yeah, you should understand why. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's see. Looks like this is just a basic picture of the map and how it's laid out and all the roads and whatnot. Seems that everything is numbered to tell you where everything is, which is actually pretty good. So as soon as you spawn in, you can realize where you need to go without really even looking at the PDA. Seed pallets. What is our frames looking like on this? Well, it could be a couple of reasons why it's like this. For one, you've got a lot of stuff crammed into well, I can say small space, but kind of sitting on top of one another. Where some of this probably could be moved around and you'll gain some of your frames back, being that it's in such a small quarter. Now, when I was over here, it did appear that there was a light switch. And indeed it was. That is awesome. So, somebody actually took the initiative to install some lights inside of a building. We got a nice silo set up here. Actually has the sound to make it sound a little bit realistic. This is a 4X map, by the way. It's not a 1X. I like how they've kind of like set everything up to just as it was before they left. The creator set everything up to kind of like give it a little bit more of a realistic atmosphere when spawning in. I had to do it. I just had to do it. Oh, I see one mod that I didn't put back in that I wish I had now. Oh well. All is good. Not a big deal. If you've not knocked over any bells playing this game, then you're not doing something right. Now let me come back over here. I want to see what the starting equipment is other than this tractor here with the front loader. So we've got a weeder, a cultivator, seeder, mower, trailer, forage wagon, or yeah, baler, tedder, windrower, auger wagon, combine, sprayer, and another tractor. So that's cool. So you actually get more starting equipment on this map than you did on the other one, which is kind of good considering the size. But again, some people like the not having as much equipment, and some people like having a lot of equipment. And the reason why some people like having a lot of equipment is because if they don't like the equipment to begin with, they can simply just sell it all off and purchase whatever they want due to whatever mods they may have downloaded. So we've got us a cow forge mixer here, which is built in. That's awesome. Water trailer, truck, and bale trailer. Of course, the bales that I knocked over. This looks like a silage input. Yeah. So I guess it does have the where you put your shaft for grass in and get silage out as the income or end product in the end rather. Plenty of fuel tanks. Let me speed up a little bit here and get ourselves all around. So you even start off with some actual livestock. Now, it's either one or two things is wrong with this picture here. As in the last video, I had discussed how when maps are made and the animal areas, the creator has to put down a nav. It's what's called a navmesh, and that navmesh is actually what creates the animals the ability to, as you see, walking around. And if these two pigs here walk into this area and they freeze, which they did not do, so it's either one of two things has happened. Either the nav mesh stops right about here and these pigs are static, or something is wrong with the nav mesh and they need to fix it. Whoa, did you guys just hear that? Did you guys just hear that? That pig farted. Somebody did not believe me when I told them that the pigs will fart in this game, and therefore you just heard it yourself. That's hilarious. It's nothing like a little flatulence in the afternoon. Oh boy. Let's see, we got a manure spreader here. This is like a silage fork for a front loader. Looks like a slurry injector. But as far as the nav mesh is concerned with animals, so here's the problem. Like, for example, I had tried Oregon Springs by Richard Gibbs, but I never recorded any of it that I can remember, because the simple fact of the animals actually freezing. Well, actually, it's cows that would freeze, and what would happen is that the nav mesh one that was put down, I actually opened the map in the editor and looked for myself. The nav mesh would come to a certain point, and we're talking like realistically, if you were standing in one spot and say you have this cow here, and let's just figuratively say that this cow was in game is probably what looks to be maybe, I don't know, a couple of feet wide. So you take that in relation to real life, and let's say the nav mesh come up and was only about a foot wide into a corner. Well, when the cow would come in and try to turn itself around, it would freeze, and the game would lag to the point of almost crashing. For me, anyway. I don't know about for anybody else, but I know for me it was a problem, and I had to can that map because it just wasn't worth my time trying to do anything with. And that's what I've been doing a lot of, is just kind of looking into maps and mods and stuff like that here lately to try to see if I wanted to do a review on them or even showcase them more or less. But anyway, with me blabbering on, that was the cow area. Obviously, looks like I got a water outlet here. There's a lot to view with this map. It may take a little bit longer than 30 minutes to do this one, and that's totally fine. Um, I guess that would there be for your milk. I'm gonna find myself something to hop in and just do some driving around. Did a tractor last time. Let's do this truck. Now, where are we at? We are here. And it looks like the total as far as fields is concerned is going to be 42, 43. Now, it looks like it's more than 43 fields. I don't know. Maybe some of these off to the sides you you have, and there maybe once you buy like one, you've bought two. I don't know. It's hard to say. Any of the information that I can find regarding the map will be put down in the description like last time. I'll include, a brief description about the map itself, my personal thoughts on it, who created it, and the link to it to make it easier for people to get to, because honestly some people, let's be real, some people are just lazy and they don't want to look. But I don't mind doing that or whatever. I wonder what this is over here. Obviously a collision. Can't you seriously, we can't go in there? Or maybe that this green bar is here is actually just the edge of the map, and he's got it laid out in such a way that it looks like it would lead into something even though you can't, which kind of is cool in a way, even though you're losing a good amount of play area. Now it could be that just that one spot has a collision around it, I don't know. But this green line here is obviously a road. It's a very well detailed map. I'll give him that. Just by what little bit I have seen so far. The roads feel a little bit narrow, but it could just be me. Now I wonder if we can pull in here. No, we cannot. See, that's a little strange. Not a big deal, but just kind of strange. And after watching, after I got done recording yesterday, well, day before yesterday's video, I kind of went back and looked, and I had then seen that some of the textures in the map, in fact, had been changed, as the creator said in his, in his listing that was on ModHub. Oh yeah. Don't get your panties in a wad. Honking the horn at me. Well, can we turn this way? Okay. Now my question being is, yeah, he's got collisions around like pretty much every building area, house area, building area. except for where you really need to go. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a huge deal. You guys get to see my terrible driving on a keyboard. See, little things that catch in my eyes, and I want to stop and try to document what I see. It looks like it's, yeah, for sale, Flatland Realty. $233,000 and $7, well, $710. $233,710. Not bad. Now I wonder, yeah, because you own field 4, so that's for field 11. Nice. Okay. Alright, so speaking of this map, it looks to be that you've got 3 areas to sell in. And you've only got cows and pigs, you don't have any chickens. Yeah. How many, just standard crop types? Yep. So you don't get any extra crops, which is kind of a bummer. So essentially saying you cannot do sugarcane on this map, which probably would make sense being that I wouldn't expect Wisconsin to offer sugarcane. Not that I was saying that sugar beets would be any different, but it is what it is. Alright, let's get on the road here. I've wasted enough time blabbering on. And I've also been experimenting with overlays, if you guys can see that. I'm just trying to see which would fit best and which will not. So you got some seed silo, and some huge bags. So I'm kind of confused here. Now you may be asking yourself, well, what are you doing now? I'm actually trying to see for a trigger, and there is a trigger. If you look, there's an orange box right there. So what I'm thinking is you probably could come and maybe dump something into this area and retrieve it back out of those silos. What you seen just then was part of the developer console. It's a simple command that you can well, that kind of sucks. You got a storage building back there, but you can't use it. Huh. I'm not exactly understanding some of the boundary deal, but it's what it is, I suppose. I guess that technically really isn't a field. Got a church, a graveyard, a little bit of lag. So it seems that everything that's on, like from the ditch to the right, you can touch. And I think I've gotten myself stuck here. No, go away. I don't want that. No. Thank goodness. Got out from that. I did not want to have to reset it and get back in it again. Alright, where am I at? So it looks to be that all of your 3 sell points are in one area, which kind of, again, is kind of dumb. I think I would have rather had seen them spaced out. But the thing is that I don't know is that if this map is actually laid out realistically or if it's fictional. Because some creators will actually go onto Google Earth or whatever and build their maps but using certain pictures and programs and stuff like that. But yeah, as I was speaking about the console, you can go into your game settings and open up oh darn, what file is it? I forget the name of the file, but you can indeed open it, and I'll have to get back with you guys on as far as which one that is. I want to say it's the actual game file itself, and you can open it up in like Notepad++ or just regular Notepad, and enable the developer console through it. Matter of fact, what I'll do when I get ready to upload this is I'll put that information as well in the description. Alright. So which way do I want to go here? We'll just go on ahead and go on down to the shop. But it's a real simple process to do. Once you've done it, you know, it can show you various things. You get your frame rate. That's your wireframe mode. Where if, like, say if you were trying to find, say you had cut some logs or something down, and one of the pieces of logs fell into a certain spot that you couldn't see, like for example in the water or somewhere like that. Well, if you hit F3, you can open that command up. Or excuse me, F4, and open that command up, and you can kind of get a wireframe of everything that's around you. F4 shows you triggers and such. Now, why on earth there is a trigger way out here? I do not quite understand. You can use F5 to find triggers of things that you may not be able to see. Yeah, see, he's got that. There's a trigger that's going clear across the road in one direction one way and one going another way. And then that one over there is for the shop itself. It looks like there's another one behind the building as well. Tremont Oil Company. Fuel sales and delivery. Bio and non-bio diesel, kerosene, tire sales and repair, off-road diesel, oil changes and detailing. You're all in one stop and shop. Now this is narrow. And it wouldn't be me if I wouldn't try to take a semi down into it. And so here we have some static cows. Being that it looks like this is the animal buying area. Yep, animal dealer. Now I'm not sure why there's two different ones in one spot. I don't know. No idea. So we can get ourselves out of here so we don't go off into the water. Or get stuck. Now if just me critiquing a little bit or whatever, if it were me, either one or two things would have to change here. Either bring the ground level up to where it meets the little driveway pad here, or try to get the driveway pad to go into the ground a little bit farther so it's flat, so you don't have such an overhang. Minor stuff, nothing major. So technically that was the truck entrance there to go around to the backside. Little overpass, nice little touch. It looks like we're going to be coming to the end of the map here in a minute. I just wanted to see how far you could actually go. Okay, so and here we are at the end of the map, and obviously I've hit a collision. Not only have I hit a collision, you can see that the ground level for his whatever area that may be, I guess it's a park, it's not exactly level with the ground there. So it's little small stuff that's been overlooked in this map that the creator really needs to come back in and fix. Not sure if it was rushed. Not sure if trying to get it uploaded uh, under pressure. I'm not sure, but I mean, you know, these are things that make the map look bad, bud. It almost looks like everything was just cluttered in this one corner here and left without even any regard to being fixed. Now granted, hear me when I say this. This map was indeed tested by somebody at Giants and released. And they did not notice things like that. It's just not quite right. Now, how in the devil? Is there any way to get to there without having to go all the way around my elbow to get to my thumb? Now, is this the correct way to do this? No, it's not. But that's how I'm going to do it. And hopefully there's a gap somewhere. Because I'm trying to understand how you're supposed to get out. Or if you're even supposed to be able to get to this road or not. And not by hitting no tree or not. That's for sure. So I'm thinking that you're not even supposed to be able to get to the highway there. Which is kind of unfortunate. So it's kind of kept you in regard, kind of locked in, so to speak. Yeah, this is by far not the way to really do this, but I'm not seeing any other ways of getting around things. Don't get me wrong, he's got a good start on what he's trying to do, but it needs to be polished a little bit. Just a little. Now, where am I at now? I want to get down here. So it's looking like I need to take a left. But if I come down this way, am I still going to be locked in? That's the only problem. Yeah, because that's the end of the map there. So far, the only two things that I can see that he's got that's seriously wrong is there's no definitive not that I can see, there's no really definitive way to get to certain points without having to backtrack somewhere else to get there. I understand that the green line is the map boundary. That makes sense. But the only other way that I can see is just, like I said, to go all the way around your elbow to get to your thumb. Now, did we go in there? We did not. Let me back up and go look at this real quick. So, again, we've got some strange triggers. Now, the ones that's in the trees don't pay them no mind. They're just collisions. Or supposed to be collisions anyway. So, technically, this right here is the only drop-off trigger you have for the milk. Alright, no big deal. Now, are we going to be able... Okay, a dry lake. So, okay, let's just start over again from the top as far as this map is concerned and the problems that it has. Some of the water planes aren't right. Some of the ground levels aren't correct. There's no easy access to get to certain roads without having to backtrack. That's 3 problems right off the top. Now, are they game breaking problems? No, not at all. You can still probably play this map fine and be good to go on it. But the thing is that this map could look better than any other map you played on and have bugs, like small bugs like that. Well, I wouldn't classify those as bugs. I just say technical errors. And you could play on maps like I reviewed the other day that was only missing a couple of things, but nothing else was wrong with it. So, to each their own, I suppose. To each their own. Now, again, we're trying to get to these co-op areas, or sale areas, and it has not been easy trying to get to them. Now, was trying to get to them designed that way on purpose? I have no idea. I cannot say for sure. So we've got a path that goes down the middle of the field that way. We've got a path that goes this way. But there's another overpass, and we know that you can't really go across it, I would think, without getting in a pickle. So I'm just going to drive down the side of the field here, because I'm trying to understand how you're supposed to get over there and can't. Because to me, I think that if I'm looking at those silos from this direction right here, excuse me, that there should have been some sort of a road to take you in from this side, not from the other side. And we're already at a collision again. So how the hell are you supposed to get over there? Unless, let's turn ourselves around one more time. We'll go back the way we came. Now you can believe that if I'm going to showcase a map or review it or whatever, that I'm going to be honest about it. I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's the best map ever. It doesn't have any problems. You can play on it and, be A-okay. No, that's not me. If I'm going to see that it's going to be an issue for somebody, I want to show them what I'm seeing as an issue. That way, either A, the creator can come back and fix what has been shown or said or whatever, and B, so if you decide that you want to play this map, you won't have such a headache trying to get to where you're trying to go. Now see, we were able to come over the overpass, but I would have never known that except by just looking at the PDA and saying, oh, well, the map boundary is here. But that's it. So it looks like here you can get your liquid fertilizer. At least that was labeled. Solid fertilizer. And don't get me wrong, some of the details in this map look great. I mean, you walk over here and you see this van sitting here, and you would think, oh, well, this guy's either a technician or maybe he's here to pick up some fertilizer or something and carry it to a farm somewhere. That looks cool. Just little small details. But then you go trying to figure out where things are at, and you ask yourself, well, why in the hell is it like this? Alright, so you have absolutely no purpose at all to be able to get into this building, obviously. Alright. And then as far as being able to try to get to these co-op areas, again, I don't think they should have all been put in one spot. I think they should have been divided, and maybe even some signs to say, like routing signs to say, oh, well, co-op 1 is 18 miles this way, or something of that nature. So we finally made it to here. even though we had to go all the way around our elbow to get to our thumb. What does the sign say here? Pit 3 around back. Wheat, soybean, corn. And a sign that's just laying there. I don't know. What else did I not cover? You got 43 fields. It looks like you've got just a one main farm area, one place to sell milk, two animal types, and just three places to sell your grains. And this is all in a 4X map. It's not just a 1X. I think that pretty much covers that. I don't think there's really anything else left to discuss about this map, other than what I've shown. I think that he's still got some work to do to it. Corn, soybeans, and where you get your pig food. Alright, so that'd be your pig food mixer. Obviously. And cow mixer, cow food mixer. And that pretty much solves all of that as far as the map and the way it's laid out. I mean, I don't think that I didn't cover anything else, or missed anything else rather. I think I pretty much hit everything on the head. Got a bobcat, so you can at least clean up after the cows, pigs. But I do think I do think that this collision deal or navmesh problem is in fact a problem. What's making me believe this is because, well, I think if they were static, you wouldn't be able to, if they were static, you probably would be able to walk through them unless they had a collision on. But these are definitely, they look like they're the animated pigs. But they can't get to the feed trough without freezing. So there's got to be a conflict there with the nav mesh, I would think, or something. Now, unfortunately, in the developer mode, it doesn't show you what, or rather where the nav mesh is. All I can say is that it's made into the map and it's in that area. If I step back far enough, you can see that there's a collision in here for the food to go in. But I wish I had more to say. I mean, I can't say that I don't like the map, and I can't say that I love the map. The map needs some work. Again, I don't understand how. I don't know who tested it from Giant side, but they did not do the best job they probably could have done. I feel like that they're lacking a little bit in the testing department. I don't know how many testers they got. But all I can say is they're not doing a grand job. But with that being said, I think that's going to be it for today. I do appreciate you guys that have been watching. I seen that we had gotten ourselves a new subscriber yesterday, which is great. I hope to get more. I hope that uh, me being honest about these things that's farm sim related will help people, because I believe that honesty is best when it comes to things, despite how mad the creator might get if they were to see it. I don't consider it, bad. I consider it being that I'm, trying to give some constructive criticism regarding something that they've put together. And I conceded it being that map making for certain creators is a labor of love. They love doing it. They love the enjoyment of people actually coming back and saying, hey, your map is great. Having a lot of fun on it. It reminds me of home. So on and so forth. That's fantastic. However, when you've got certain little minor problems that you need to come back and critique and work on and fix, it may drive some of that crowd to thinking, you know what, maybe this guy doesn't really care about what his map looks like or how well it performs and all that stuff. But I can't say that the map is bad, and I can't say that it's the best. Every map that I have tried has had some sort of a problem, and usually the creators are very supportive when it comes to fixing those problems, and thus the map ends up being fantastic in the end. With this being said, and this map being on the in-game mod hub, any updates that get issued to this map will be automatic if you've got it downloaded. Like if you say you have the map installed and you've been playing on it, and all of a sudden you go in game one day and you check under your mods and you see that there's like an update symbol over this map, well, that means that something in the map has been improved or changed. So anyway, again, I do appreciate everybody that's been watching and liking and sharing and all that stuff. Keep up the good work, guys. It shows that that I'm getting some support out there, and that's fantastic. Have a good one, and we'll catch you in the next one.